Okay, I can't sleep. So let's talk about generational trauma. For those of us who maybe, I don't know, who had good childhoods, who had great childhoods. So people don't understand how they got messed up. Maybe. Okay. Because you are all dying to know, right? So I've got more than one example, and they're all pretty fucking heavy. So you're welcome. Should make videos because I don't want to look at myself. Okay, ready? Okay. So I like to keep my glasses off so I'm blurry. My father had Parkinson's disease. My father died of complications of Parkinson's disease in 2014. He never told my mom, formally, ever. She figured it out because before the internet, she was a nurse. So I'm just remembering this, like I had to talk about it a lot before I remember. She told my sister and I, or I think my sister and I don't remember if my sister was there. I think she was. That she just figured it out. She was like, Doug, I know what those meds are for. I know what those medications are for. We found out like an hour before my dad died. He was already gone, if you've been around that. But my father's sister, my choice, was sitting with us, my sister and I, and we were telling family secrets, I think. I don't remember. Because one was funny, sort of. Like, she wanted to know why we left my cousin's graduation party like 4 hours early. That's because I got a hickey and a cigarette burn in my dress, but that's another story. Well, that's part of it. She told my sister and I think it was after I told the story about that. Okay, well, I'll just say it. We had to leave my sister's graduation party 4 hours early. Like we were going to stay the rest of the day. And maybe, I think even one more night. But I went to a party the night before and I got my first hickey and I got a cigarette burn in my dress. And my dad noticed it when he was taking family pictures. And so I got what I used to call the frantic whisper. Just him whispering, we're going right now. And we didn't talk about it. We just left. Well, I think he said something when we went back. Basically, because I ruined everything. And I had a wonderful dad, but because we couldn't just talk about it, or like nobody was allowed to see that was a thing. So I think I shared that, we're like, we didn't talk about things growing up. And my aunt told us that the day my dad got his Parkinson's diagnosis, he did not tell my mother. He called my Aunt Joyce. And didn't want to worry my mom or whatever. And I don't remember if she said why he said he didn't tell my mom. I don't think he did. But she said something about, I think she sent flowers. And I don't see my mom calling my Aunt Joyce and asking about the flower situation, because my mom wouldn't have called anybody on the phone. Like, I would never. No. But I don't know if my dad called. I don't know. And I feel like my aunt said something about my mom asking, and I'm sure she did ask maybe, but it wasn't on the phone. My mom did not call and go, why did you send Doug flowers? But apparently at one point my mom was like, why did you send Doug flowers? Out of nowhere, And I can't remember what my aunt said. She's made something up. That's, and he never told my mother. And he never told my sister and I. Like, it was never formally like, hey, let's have a chat. Let's sit down and talk as a family. I have a degenerative disease that's eventually going to probably kill me. I'm not going to be able to work. I mean, just, it's a horrid disease, It's like getting a cancer diagnosis and not telling anybody. And then slowly declining from whatever, or MS. And I mean, just any, I don't want to compare it to anything, but like having a serious illness. And my sister and I, and I still don't, if my sister sees this, I think we happen to be both in the same room as my mom. And like maybe when my mom was dying, I think. And we brought it up, or before that, I don't know. Something's up with Dad. And she's like, or we figured it out on our own. I don't know. I still don't remember. That's traumatic. That's my generational trauma is like, there's heaps of it involved in that kind of thing. Like, for whatever reason, my dad never told any of us because he didn't want to worry us, or because he didn't want to be a bother, or because he learned to just deal with things himself and not involve anyone else because that's just what he learned. And that's what my mom learned. My mom told me before when she was dying, she said, I didn't want to be a nurse. I wouldn't have been a nurse. But your grandma didn't get to be a nurse, and she wanted to be a nurse. And it was just this thing that was understood, that she would do that. That she would be a nurse and get married and have kids. My mom's like, I also don't know if I would have kids or got married. Like, my grandmother wanted to be a nurse more than anything. My maternal grandmother. And her mother died when she was 17 or 18, and she was the oldest daughter, I believe. And she ended up having to raise, everything was just understood. She would not go to school, and she would raise her siblings that needed it. Not all of them, I don't think, but like my mom's youngest uncle, like Uncle Bud, he always said my grandmother was like his mother, and maybe she didn't have to. No one asked her to. It wasn't forced on her, but it was understood. So she gave up her dream because it's just what you do. And, back in the day, yeah, for sure, probably, right? I mean, I don't know, but it was more like, it's what happens. Like, it probably would, for her to have the chance to go to school was probably, like, really, like, kind of a big deal, was probably not normal, the norm. But, I think my grandma grew up in kind of a progressive family, though, because my aunt, her little sister was like a model in Minneapolis. But I digress. No, that was my grandfather's sister, I think. Yeah, never mind. Who knows? Doesn't matter. That's really sad. And I don't know if my mom ever loved nursing. She was amazing. She taught it. She was like a floor nurse, like the head nurse on a couple floors of a hospital. She taught it. The college level. She taught it. I think just the vocational level. She was the director of a home health care agency. Then she was a home health care nurse because she didn't want to be the director. She ran Central Supply, which is, I think something else now, Central Processing at the hospital, which is like, you're basically the director of like sanitizing all the equipment and or disposing of it. A big job. She was the night administrator at the hospital. I mean, she did a whole bunch of stuff, but she just kept switching jobs. I was always proud of her doing that, but like, she gave up. She didn't, I don't know if she questioned it when she was younger or not. She just did what she knew she was supposed to do. That's generational trauma. It might not be abuse. Like, it's not, I didn't have it's not, well, I don't want to like say one's better than the other. I mean, that's not the point here. Things are hard for people. They're hard. Like, I have white privilege, but I don't need to talk about it here. Here's my example. Well, there's more than one. Okay. I'll do one that's maybe not as scandalous for my family, because they've got some stuff that I did for my parents I mentioned it before, but that was Jerry Springer kind of type thing. Now I'm going to get really interested. When I was in high school or junior high, my first year of high school, I think I was 14 or 15. I don't know. I never really liked my grandmother that much, my mom. So, no, I didn't get her. Like, my mom's parents, my maternal grandparents were like half raised us almost. I mean, they retired to a block from where we built our house when I was like, from the time I was in third grade on. They lived like a block away. And my grandfather was like my favorite person on this earth. And I think I'm ascribing this to my sister, but like, I feel like she was more my grandma's girl, but I don't know. That's not for my sister, for me to say, but, I didn't really like my grandmother. I just didn't get her. I think it made me anxious to be around her, maybe because And I never thought that she was a very happy person. Maybe because she had a martyr complex and she gave up for other people. Or she was clinically depressed her whole life or had complex trauma. Whatever. I have to still go off on tangents. It was my idea to live with her, to move in with her for, I think, I don't know how long it was, 2 months, 3 months. I have no idea. I don't remember. I barely remember in the first place, and it could have been just 2 weeks. I don't know. I have no idea anymore. I don't remember most of my high school years or junior high years or grade school years. I don't remember most of it. I wasn't abused. I just don't remember, but I guess I was just, I don't remember. So I have no idea. It could have been 2 days. I think it was longer than 2 days. I just told my mom I should move in with her because she's never been alone before. She's never lived by herself before, and Grandpa's gone. And that was like it was really hard for me. And I said she should have somebody stay with her, so I'll do it. My mom didn't ask me to do it. It wasn't her idea. It wasn't like my dad's. It was just like, I should do that because somebody should do that. So might as well be me. I'm going to want to, watch like Gary Shandling host the Tonight Show. That was a horrible bad time for that, by the way. I ran with my grandma, and I'm not going to know how to talk to her, and I'm not going to be comfortable around her. And I'm going to live with her because I should. That's one example. And I wonder but that's, my parents both learned growing up that you do for others, that you're responsible for other people's feelings in whatever way. Like, how you act is going to directly affect other people's lives, and you need to think about it before you think about anything else. What you say or do or think or feel or whatever. And I did that. I learned that too. Which means you're just hyper. You take care of things yourself. You don't bother people with their problems. You don't know how to self-validate. You don't actually know how to feel your feelings because you don't. Also, on both sides of my family, my mothers and fathers, is just getting through things. And I just watched something or read something about trauma. By the way, which is anything that the brain can't emotionally handle. Not because people are weak or whatever. Just it's also too much bad, too much at once, or within a short amount of time, or not enough over a long period of time. And I had emotional neglect as a child, not because I had bad parents, but because my mom was clinically depressed, and she just wasn't present all the time. And my dad made sure she was okay, and then I made sure that I was okay. And maybe my sister, but I think maybe she was on her own too. I don't remember. I feel like, did I take care of my sister? I don't think I did. I don't know. Maybe I did. Should ask her. I don't think I did. I think by that point, Carly was on her own. But I don't know. But, hyper independent and not ask for help, and just to deal things yourself. For example, I took just a year ago, I'm 50. I turned 50 a couple months ago. It came to me that when other people, like when people have problems they don't like that they need to solve, or they have a big decision to make and they don't know what to do, or, they can't make up their mind, they talk to other people about it to get their opinion or just to work things out, or, maybe it will affect other people, right? Maybe it will have some effect on them, either directly or like if I move away all of a sudden and don't tell you I've been dating some dude from Montana and I'm going to move to quit my job, and within like 2 months I'm going to quit my job and move to another state, and I'm not going to be ready to move when I do move, and it's going to be a hot mess, and you're going to wonder what the hell's wrong with me and think I'm on drugs. Stuff like that. Don't talk to people about things. And just boom. It occurred to me that it's not that I think about talking to other people about things and then I don't involve them because I'm like, I don't want to bother them, or I don't need their advice. I can do it on my own. It doesn't even occur to me naturally. It's not like, oh, I should talk to my sister about that, but like, I know what she's going to say and I don't want to hear it. No, it's just, it doesn't occur to me naturally to involve anyone else in any of my decisions. Or problems. It's fix it yourself first. And I've had to relearn that. But I think it's just been the past year since I've actually internalized that it doesn't even occur to me and I have to go Kristen. Like before I came to St. John, North Dakota, where I'm staying now, I made myself ask my aunt if she could help me with the Medicaid paperwork, make sure I got it done, and I had to and I didn't really ask my aunt and uncle like I should have, like, if it was really okay with them for me to come here, because I kind of just went into one bad situation to another, but that's okay. Not because they're bad, but because that's another thing. I'm more alone than I have ever been. But that's nobody's fault. Like, it's nobody's job to be my friend or, keep me occupied. Anyway. But also, it's not anybody's job, but maybe that would be nice. But, so that's my little talk about generational trauma, maybe. How the lack of something, or just what maybe it doesn't seem overt, like, what is she talking about? She's always talking about how great her parents were. Like, what maybe doesn't, or maybe why people question your behavior, like, that you don't talk to them, or when you only talk to them when it's, like, a problem, or that you don't talk to people. I don't know. That you move to another state without any notice, and, and this guy you love that you don't even knows about, kind of thing, like, with in 2 months or less, right before a pandemic. And then you move into another strange man that nobody knows after, like, less than a year later. It's another story. Maybe people think that you're lying or you're making stuff up. And maybe that's been a problem too. But that wasn't what I was talking about. But that's, fun stuff. It's like, well, for me, it's 12:30 a.m., which is really late now because I usually go to bed now about 8:39 because I want to get the day over with. And I've been by myself all day, and I don't want to be by myself, and I want to just have time go. So this is late for me. I don't know why. Because I have my second counselor appointment tomorrow, and I don't know. I still can't get inpatient help, and I'm basically unhoused. This is a health situation for me, and also I'm not welcome. I'm not supposed to be here much longer. And I'm trying to figure that out. And I don't know how to talk to people and ask for help, so maybe this is my way of doing it too. Not asking anyone to help me, but that's for another matter. But, like, maybe asking people what their opinion, what they would do in my situation, or instead of taking another job that I'm not able to do. By the way, that's another topic. Perimenopause and ADHD. But this is fun, huh? I don't know if anyone's going to watch this. I kind of, like, hope nobody does. But I need to talk about these things. And I've never done better when I've been quiet. And I don't know how to talk to people one-on-one. So this is my way. And I'm still going to try the other one. But now I'm explaining myself again. And that's what I do. But it's okay.